Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this MIOISY 8 LED rechargeable headlamp. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So on the side here it says super bright, wide range, long endurance, drop resistant, waterproof design. So let's get this open. Here we have the manual. Let's take a quick look at it. Now I'm not going to cover everything in here. You want to read through it on your own. Here we have notes. This charges with USB-C. Now it says please do not soak or immerse in water. It has a waterproof function to resist rain or water splash. And here's an overview. There's two switches. It says key mode switch and cob mode switch. It shows all of the LEDs. So this has XPE, cob, and T6 LEDs. Has 8 different lighting modes. The IP rating is IPX4. So it has a charging port on the back. It has a tail light and a battery indicator. So to use this, it says press the key mode switch to adjust the 4 lighting modes. Press the cob mode switch to adjust the 4 cob lighting modes. In any mode, press and hold the key mode switch for 3 seconds to turn off the light directly. So we have T6 strong light, XPE strong light, T6 plus XPE strong light, T6 plus XPE flashing light, cob strong light, cob weak light, cob red flashing light. So those are the 8 modes. Has adjustable tilt angle from 0 to 90 degrees, adjustable headband, and we have a battery indicator. It says charging time is 34 hours. It says do not use the headlamp while charging. It says please charge the battery when it's less than 25%. For long-term storage, make sure you charge it every couple months. And here we have the specs. We've gone over most of those, but let's pull this out. So this is just really a cool looking headlamp there with all the lights on it. So you can see this moves forward. It's kind of rubberized around here, and then we have the elastic strap. We have the 2 buttons. Then on the back side, we have the battery pack. Has a tail light on it. Plug this in. So this charges with USB, so you can use a phone charger or a computer or wall charger that's USB. The plug in here has USB-A to USB-C charge cable. So we'll plug that in here. And we can see it's charging, and it's just charging up that last quarter of the battery. So it's mostly charged. Now right next to the charge port, we have a button for the rear tail light. So here we have red, red flicker, and off. Now let's check out the front modes. So on the right side, we're going to have the spotlight. So there's those middle lights. And I am going to show these in the dark. I'm just demonstrating the modes here. So we have the middle ones, then we have these 4 on the top, and then both, and then flash mode. So that's on the right button. Now on the left button, we have these 2. So that was on high, low, and then red, and red flashing. So on the right you have more of the spotlight, and then on the left you have more of a floodlight. So if you're looking at something at a distance, you want the right button. Something up close, you'd want more of the left button. So let's take a look at this against the wall at 4 feet, and then we'll take it outside and look at it at distance. So I'm just going to call these by the modes that were in the manual. So here we have mode 1. And here you can see that spot. So it has a bright spot in the middle, and then it kind of fades towards the outside. There's mode 2. So this is the bar across the top. So this has kind of a similar pattern. And now this is both. And then we have that flicker mode. So now here is the floodlight. So this is a more even light, and it's easier on the eyes. This is the lower one. Here's red and red flashing. So if we're looking at my bench here, I'll turn that red light on. And here we have the manual, so I could read this using the red light. So red light can be really nice at night if you don't want to blow out your night vision. Although really this floodlight, especially on low, isn't too bad on its own for night vision. But if you really want the best, you're going to use the red. So if we were, say, cooking a meal, we'd probably want the floodlight on. Maybe the high or the low mode. So this is high and this is low. So let's see what this looks like on my head. Okay, so I'll put this on. So it goes on like so. Now I can adjust this here. The strap, I can pull on this to widen it or loosen it, but it seems to fit pretty good right out the package. It goes like that. Now since this has this on the back, it's a kind of a balanced feel. So you have the battery in the back and then the light in the front. Now this is pointing straight up, and then I can point it straight down. So typically if I was hiking, I'd probably want it at kind of an angle like that, so you can see it. And then to turn it on, I would just press the buttons. Okay, so here I'm standing at the end of my 50-foot driveway. So I'll hit the spotlight button once, and here we have the T6. You can see it lighting up the doors there. And it lights up pretty much the whole driveway, but the spot is the brightest part. And here we have the XPE. That's a little bit brighter. And here we have the combo. And then we have the strobe. So now I'll turn the cob on. So this is a bright light. This isn't really lighting up the doors so much. It's lighting up the area kind of right in front of me. And we have that on the lower. We have red and red flashing. You're not going to see that on camera here. So I'll put the tail light on in flash mode and I'll put it at the base of the doors. So I have the light between the two doors there, and that flickering really grabs your attention. So here I'm standing next to the front tire of my car, and I'll turn the cob on. Now it's kind of pointing up, but I can angle this down, and now it's directing more at the tire. So this is on the high mode, this is on the lower mode, and here we have red and the flash. So if I was changing a spare tire, I'd probably have it on the low mode unless I dropped a lug nut and I needed to search for it. This is plenty of light to see for this kind of work. If I was doing detailed engine work, then I'd probably have it on the higher mode. So that's the MIOISY 8 LED rechargeable headlamp. I found this headlamp to be very versatile. You have spotlight and floodlight options. Along with that, you have the red LEDs. So this could be good for doing repairs, going hiking, camping, power outages. This would also be great for other outdoor things like running. Since you have this rear tail light, you can turn that on along with the headlamp, and you can have light in front of you so you can see, and then light behind you so people can see you. With this elastic headband, it was very comfortable on my head, and since you can angle it down, you can put the light where you want it. So if you're looking for a very versatile headlight that can work for many different things, I think this is a great option. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.